Judge, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Can you see my picture, the camera screen? Can you see my picture, the face?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can see you. Stand how you're going to stand when you deliver. Let us
Okay.
see that.
So that's
Right there?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that should be good.
Okay. So my topic is respect for life, reverence for nature, and my speech begins now. 2020 is going to be a hard year. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is no longer opening the window to enjoy the morning sunshine and listen to the songs of birds. Instead, I turn on my iPad to check the updated information to see what's happening around the world. The forest fire in New South Wales, Australia has been burning for months. Because of the global warming, the rainfall in Australia in 2019 was only 18 millimeters, which makes the situation of the forest fire worse. The fire has so far destroyed 11 million hectares of forests, damaging thousands of buildings and killing billions of animals. For example, more than 600,000 of bats, which lost their habitats because of the wildfire, were forced to migrate. They have nowhere to go but to fly into urban areas where humans live. And the deadly viruses they carry up poses a serious threat to humans' health. Now let's see what happened to the opposite side of the world. At the end of 2019, a new type of coronavirus is spreading in Wuhan, China. This virus has been classified by the United Nations as the international level 2 public health event. As a result, Wuhan was closed. However, the supplies for epidemic prevention were in urgent need. By February 20th, there were at least 75,567 people were carrying this type of viruses, and more than 2,239 people were died for this. This is not the first time we fight against the coronavirus. In 2003, SARS, another type of coronaviruses, broke out in China. Do you know any similarity between these two epidemic diseases? Both of them began with the illegal sale and consumption of wild animals by humans. The Middle East respiratory syndrome, which was first identified in Saudi Arabia in 2012, was also a type of coronavirus. Why we human beings never learn from our lessons? Why we have to catch countless of wild animals and make them as a food? I couldn't help but think of a picture that a man is confronting a bear in the forest. It seems like the only way to save their lives is to kill each other. But if we look at the picture more carefully, the balanced wheel on the top of the mountain is the only way that could save the lives of both man and bear. So what we should see in the picture is not just the confrontation between the man and the bear, but the relation between the man and nature. If we human beings lose the balance between us and nature, we will suffer. The eucalyptus trees are gone. The koalas are gone. The pangolins are in danger. The bats are losing their home. I can't help but thinking, what's next? No snowflake is innocent in an avalanche. It was like the opening line of the movie, The Wonder Planet. At first, nobody cared. It was just a mountain fire, a drought, the extinction of a species, the disappearance of a city, until the disaster touches to everyone. It's time for us to learn from our lessons and start to live with wild animals in a peaceful way. It's time for us to learn and respect the laws of nature and protect the environment. If we human beings do not respect the laws of nature, we will suffer again in the future. Thank you for listening.
For the other contestants, please write your the title of your OO in the chat. Thank you.
Judge, can you see me?
Yes, I can see you.
Okay.
Or is that the position you're going to be in while you speak?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Judge Kilhalley's ready for the next speaker.
Yes. Can we start right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I start now?
Yes. Whenever you're ready, just tell me and I will start.
I'm ready. Okay, hello everyone. Today my topic is about verbal violence. And here my speech starts now. About 5 months ago, I heard a shocking news about a famous Korean celebrity, Suli Choi, committed a suicide in her home. The reason leading to her death is a serious depressive disorder she got. Where did depression come from? Evidence showed that partly because she was a public figure and had to deal with stress from her work and verbal violence from the internet. In an interview, she expressed her sadness about the online abuse and asked fans for mercy. I didn't know her before, but I'm deeply sorry in what she has been through. Physical violence hurts people. Verbal violence does so as well. Verbal abuse leaves scars and wounds unseen. Then I began to think, why so many people have an idle time to judge others who they even don't really know? Because they hide behind the internet so others don't know who they are, or their lives are too bored and they need some gossip to talk about. They even don't realize such how words can affect a person. Some of them may argue, it is freedom of speech, and it is my right to say anything I want. How can some words kill a person? If someone gets depression because of this. It is all because they are too fragile. We have done nothing wrong. It is the virtual and anonymous characteristics of network media to a large extent weakens the nascent sense of responsibility and legal consciousness, virtually acting as the umbrella of network violence. They use such a bug to show emotion to innocent people. They like to catch others' attention through this way in order to drain the repression and difficulty of their real life. They also hide their insecurities by insulting others. Most of them are pathetic, but they choose a wrong way, which is to build their happiness on the pain of others. Verbal abuse is now a big problem not only on the online world but also in the real life. I myself was once a victim. My roommate let go her hair, broke up with her boyfriend with no reasons. Then the boy came to find me and we had a conversation as we walked around the playground. What was funny was that a rumor spread out that I interfered the relationship and started dating the boy. After going back to the dormitory, Fee began crying. She kept telling how miserable her life was and complained why I got together with the boy. The dismal crying even drew the attention of the dormitory management. Considering she was extremely unstable, I had to sleep in the room next door. The next day, no one gave me a good face, just indifference. No one talked. Everyone thought the reason they broke up with me. No one listened to me, no one talked to me, no one gave me the chance to explain. In one class, my deskmate talked to me in a version. I really feel sorry about Faye every time she cried. I didn't know you were such a person. I tried to explain but failed. They didn't give me the chance to explain. I could feel other people's unfriendly look and whisper when I walked down the corridor. I felt helpless and distracted at that time. It is the first time that I realized how much verbal violence can hurt. Verbal bullying can affect one's self-image and affect someone in emotional and psychological ways. This type of bullying can lead to low self-esteem, as well as depression and other problems. In some cases, verbal bullying can reach a point where the victim is so depressed and wants to escape so badly that he or she may turn to a substance abuse, or in some extreme cases, suicide. It is clearly traumatizing. Our mental health, our emotional well-being are so gravely affected because the stress of violence is experienced neurobiologically as violence. The cortisol shoots up, the limbic system gets fired, we lose our productivity at work. It won't be quickly to eliminate this phenomenon. Words have a power of their own, and the realities of verbal bullying can have very physical consequence, even if the aggressor never lays a finger on the victim. Lots of people around us are facing this kind of mental. Maybe they are not very often, but they are truly around us. So what can we do? For verbal violence online, our friends in law enforcement have much to do, because we've seen that the online violence is the intention of in-person violence. Law enforcement must be empowered with up-to-date internet technology, the devices, and an understanding of these platforms, how they work. During the online world, information disclosure should be took. Netizens shouldn't be given the chance to comment without public. For the verbal abuse at school, I think both teachers and students should be aware of this problem and take it seriously. When seeing such behavior, teachers should directly and explicitly tell students that it is not acceptable. Sensitizing students to this problem will not only make classroom more pleasant, but will also increase everyone's well-being. If you experience this kind of things at school, you should ignore the bully. Reasoning with the abuser is tempting, but unlikely to work. Remember, you are not responsible for someone else's behavior. This is difficult, but if you can shrug off insults and provide no reaction, there is a chance that eventually the bully will move on their attention to others. We must have the courage and urgency to practice stopping it as it is unfolding. This is fundamentally a problem of human interaction, and as I believe that human interaction is at the core of our healing, trauma not transformed will be trauma transferred. I recently learned about how gratitude and affirmations may offset negative interactions. It takes several of those to offset one negative interaction. So these things that actually exist, I can transform them into something valuable, which can make me think, make me feel, and make me a better life. I hope one day our world will be free of verbal abuse. Thank you.
Okay. Well,
Judge Kale is ready for the next speaker. Need her title written in the chat though.
请观赛的人把摄像头都关掉，谢谢。And is everyone already?
yes.
Yes.
You can start, and I will click to start.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, hi everyone. I'm Han Duoling, and my English name is Sorin. I'm 9 years old, and my topic is big data is also a double-edged sword. My time starts now. Recently, because of the virus, we all have to stay at home, and the demand has changed a lot. Through the collection of big data, technology companies may reserve more products and then attract more people in need to place orders through accurate recommendation. Actually, big data is personal information collected. With big data, technology companies can know more about users, and their products and services are more accurate. So that we just search the internet for what computer is more cost-effective. Once we open the shopping platform, it has already recommended several laptops for you. However, this is like two sides of a coin. On the one hand, we fully enjoy the convenience brought by big data to our lives. On the other hand, we are worried about the increasingly insecure information environment. In fact, whether our personal information is safe or not depends not on us, but on where and to what extent the data will be used by the businesses that provide services for us. Due to the development of information technology, a large amount of data will be generated on the internet every day. By analyzing the characteristics of the user's behaviors, we can use these characteristics of users' behaviors to adjust business strategies and products and service offerings. But in fact, many internet companies have ambitions beyond that. For them, the analysis of user behavior characteristics is only the basic means of big data application. It's effective in practical application, and its marketing accuracy is not high enough to help them win in the fierce market competition. They need big data to help them achieve more accurate user reach. Technology companies can freely read all kinds of information of users' mobile phones, including communication contracts, communication records, and even photos, audio, and video. This leads to the user's personal information security not being effectively protected. In short, you will have no secrets in front of big data. If someone with unique motives uses this data for real-time tracking and analysis, your every move will be under the control of others, which sounds like science fiction movies, but it does exist in reality. In the financial industry, some emerging lending platforms will require users to analyze them, to log on to other platforms to understand the user's credit status, which can be used to realize the user's credit monitoring and early warning of abnormal conditions. For example, you borrow $1 million on a certain platform, and the platform, with your analyzation and consent, understands your behavior characteristics, including consumption behavior, geographical location, act. But one day, the platform found that you frequently visit high-end customer sites, borrowing heavily on other platforms, and book tickets abroad. The platform will doubt your willingness to repay. For example, the rejection order on Wang Sicong recently. Obviously, this case still belongs to the normal business scope. If the non-commercial environment is to track the behavior of ordinary users, it's terrible to think about it. Therefore, big data is also a double-edged sword. When we variously encourage the development of big data, we also hope to establish a corresponding supervision and management mechanism to protect personal privacy. That's all, thank you.
Hello, can you see me and hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yes.
So can I start now? Okay, my time starts now. Hello everyone, I want to share you a good news. I just received the masks, which I ordered online the day before yesterday, and my topic today has a lot to do with it. I think you might know what am I going to talk. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about the things which are happening now. At the beginning of 2020, a new virus broke out. An unidentified infection was found in many people in Wuhan, China. Because it looks like a crown, so we call it novel coronavirus. Coronavirus spreads through droplets when the person coughs or sneezes. They can also spread when the person touches something, such as a door handle, which is contaminated with droplets. Soon, many people got infected, and when we go out, we have to take a mask with us. However, what are the causes of novel coronavirus? Well, the investigation showed that the sources are the people who ate wild animals, which came from the wild animals market of Wuhan. The virus was hidden in those wild animals' bodies. Once people eat them, they will transfer to human and then spread out. Wait, doesn't this sound familiar? It reminds me of some previous viruses. In 2003, SARS broke out. 5 months spread to 26 countries. A lot of people died because of it. Scientific researchers noticed that it's a virus which hides in bats and Paguma levata in Guangzhou wild animals market. The route of transmission is also human mouth. As we all know, Ebola virus, which the biological level is 1 level higher than the AIDS, as the people who live in Africa usually hunt those wild orangutans, monkeys, or bats. Finally, they got infected and Ebola virus spread over the world. In May 2019, a couple of Russians died from eating raw mammoth in Mongolia. A series of facts indicated that more than 75% of the infectious diseases came from animal among those infection diseases. By citing such examples, I hope to ring the bell for those people who like to eat wild animals. Stop eating, please. People always forget the pain when the wound has healed. More and more facts are warning us not to eat wild animals. We should respect nature, respect wild animals, and that is exactly what we need to do. There are another group of people. They were diagnosed with the disease or suspected illness, but they still go out without a mask to spread the disease. Many cars from Wuhan went into other provinces without their permission. So soon, more and more people from other places got infected, and everyone was threatened, including my family as well. As you know, the most ridiculous thing is that a man from Wuhan went into Tibet just because there was no infected people in Tibet then. After he got there for several days, some people got infected. Up to now, infected people existed in every province, and which make the safety stuck in panic. What I want to stress is that as we live under the same sky, we ought to think more about others, about the country, about the world. By all means, I know that some people got sick because of eating wild animals, others were infected by them. Anyway, however you got infected, you should go to the hospital, get cured, instead of fleeing from this place and hide, putting everyone in panic. Additionally, hospitals are extremely busy. Even in New Year's Eve, doctors had to stay in the hospitals, cure for those infected patients. Some of them even fell in a faint on account of overwork, missing sleep, and meals. I cannot help asking myself, why should we pay for their mistakes? I really hope those people can deepen their sense of social responsibility as much as possible, like the doctors and the nurses. Protecting others is the greatest tolerance of ourselves. while some people got a lot of money during this difficulty. They raised the price of masks, like under ordinary condition, the price of one use mask is only about 1 RMB. But during this period, they sold it about 5 or 10 RMB for just one. Some people from poor family considered it's too costly to afford them. What made me really shocked is that some of the elderly cannot pay for them. They have no choice but picking up some dirty masks to wear them on from the rubbish bin. This made me really distressed. When our country is in trouble, plenty of people give up money to help the poor. Even some middle school students around me donate some money to help. In contrast, they not only reject doing charity activities to help them, but more, put the sick to death because of their actions. Talking about tragic numbers may not seem like much, but each story behind it is heartbreaking. Even when our country is united, tragedy is inevitable. This is not the first time, but we hope it is the last time. I hope those people can realize their mistakes and stop being selfish. I suggest everyone working together when our country is in trouble. There are another group of people, like my uncle. They're the heroes for us. My uncle is one of the doctors of my city. He went to Wuhan with the medical team because of the novel coronavirus. When we first heard about this news, my family was strongly disagree. But then he said a word which I could remember for the rest of my life. He said, "We are in front of the difficulties, but there are no difficulties in front of us. As a doctor, my job is to save lives." Finally, he went there and hasn't come home yet. Besides, many famous doctors went there too, like Zhou Nanshan and Li Lanjuan. Although they are at a very high age, they still work hard for the country, for the people, not just thinking about themselves. Actually, difficulty is like a mirror. We can see a lot when we face it. Through novel coronavirus, I saw the relationship between human and nature, human and ourselves, and human and our mission. We should trust the government and trust the country and to do the things what allows to do. This time, I feel they connected with the whole country, so that means the safety of each individual is very important for us. Everyone matters in front of it. Let's make the world better and better together, correct the mistakes, make our lives better, so that means our future is still shiny. And I'm firmly convinced that our persistent efforts are bound to pay off. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, may I start?
I'm good.
Hello? Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Hello? Oh, okay, may I start?
Sorry,
I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Oh yes, I forgot to turn my camera on.
Yes.
Okay. May I start? My time starts now. Good afternoon. Have you guys ever seen any superhero movies? The superheroes in the movies are really cool, but those are just movies. Do you think there are superheroes in the real world? I firmly believed yes when I was 5 years old. Superheroes can rescue whenever you need, wherever you are, and they will give you the treasures you want, like tons of candies. At the age of 9, I was diagnosed with dyslexia and ADHD, which means that it's difficult for me to concentrate and to read and write. It also explained my school had been torture. Once, my English teacher was checking my reading log and she said, "Wow, a fourth grader reading a comic book? That's easy. Look, even your desk mate's title is longer than your whole book." Well, I do admit that what we're talking about when talking about love might reveal a boy in the striped pajamas sure is a long title, but what's wrong with Dogman? So there had been a time that I hated going to school because I was afraid to face all the frustrations. I couldn't help asking myself, are there really superheroes in the world? Why isn't anyone flying into my school, taking me under his wings, and just rescuing me from this darkness? No superhero came to my rescue, but my world did change when my parents moved me to a new school. There, I was lucky enough to meet teachers who treated me with care and respect. They allowed me to read comic books and listen to audiobooks instead of reading paper ones, and they gave me kind reminders when I lost myself in the middle of class. They made me realize that I'm not a loser as long as I've tried my best, and that I have plenty to be proud of myself for, and above all, that I should never, ever give up on myself. Although now some areas of my school report are still disastrous, but I am not afraid anymore. So yes, there are superheroes in the world. Family, friends, teachers, nice people out there who accept you as you are and make a difference in your life. They are the superheroes who can always rescue you whenever you need, wherever you are. And they will give you the treasures you need, like love, faith, and courage. And this year is a perfect time to talk about superheroes because the novel coronavirus outbreak has made a lot of ordinary people into superheroes. I'm talking about the doctors and nurses who risk their lives to save others. I'm talking about journalists and scientists who stand out to bring us closer to facts and truth. I'm talking about security guards, delivery guys, and social workers who are serving on the front line so that we don't have to worry about our daily needs. They put the citizens' safety in front of theirs, which is exactly what a superhero does. I am talking about us, you and me, who can make a difference too. If we all unite together to fight against the virus, doubts, fear, and discrimination, to go hand in hand through the darkness toward the season of hope. Believe that you are never too little to make a difference and that you can be your own superhero. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can I start now?
Yeah.
All right, my time starts now. Hello everyone, my name is Daniel. Today I'm going to talk about global warming. Before going to the main points, I would like you to listen to a story. A polar bear is walking along a rocky shore looking for food. The bear would usually be on the sea ice hunting for seals, pouncing when the seals come up to breathe. But now the ice has melted earlier and reformed later than it has been in the past. Global warming is now causing many of the species to be endangered. If one species is extinct, then the whole food chain will be broken. Then the loss to both nature and humanity will be horrible. Even though scientists are now thinking about the solution, we also need to protect the environment and let the animals who needed our help survive. Today, I would like to tell you the cause of this huge problem and how to protect the environment better. Global warming is now an enormous problem on Earth. Animals are getting endangered at an alarming rate. Here's a shocking statistic that I would like to share with you. The ice has decreased by more than 3.4 million square kilometers in the North Pole. If the glaciers melted, the water will rise at least 30 meters, which makes people living around the sea unable to survive. According to NOAA, a American weather report station, the summer ice in the North Pole is now only 4.17 million square kilometers. If this continues, many of the countries will be flooded. The consequences will be a disaster. So how can we do to solve the problem, and what is the cause of this huge problem? Let's find out. So what is the cause of this huge problem? Well, mainly because of us. We're making so many huge boats and airplanes regardless of the environment. Data shows that more than 1.3 billion trees have been cut down every year. Furthermore, humans have released too much carbon dioxide into the air by driving cars that use fossil fuel and give off waste gas. In total, humans can release more than 100 tons of carbon dioxide into the air, which makes global warming 12 times faster than it previously was. So what can we do to solve this problem? Global warming can cause some very deadly problems to the society. However, there are some unique ways to slow the warming down. The first way is to build more green walls. So what is a green wall? A green wall is a wall mainly built with plants. In this way, more oxygen will be produced. This creative thinking can not only make houses or departments or housing estates look more beautiful and new, it can also occupy no space at all. The second way is to build more tree conditioners. So what is a tree conditioner again? A tree conditioner is to make a simple air conditioner attached to a tree. Now how does it work? It can suck out all the carbon dioxide in the room and give off fresh air. There are now more than 10,000 tree conditioners in Britain, and this is why National Geographic thinks that Britain has the cleanest air in the world, while China doesn't. In these two ways, the increasing temperature will be slowed down. The global warming can be stopped as well. Here's a quote that I really like, and now I'd like to share it with you. People need nature, but nature doesn't need us. That's a very good quote. As you see, there are now many viruses in the world. Why? Because we don't respect nature and let the global warming and all sorts of problems continue in this world. According to scientist William Hawkins, if we don't protect the environment and let the animals who needed our help in 2600, mankind will be facing extinction because of the global warming. Thank you for your attention.
My speech topic is embrace big data. My time starts now. As an 8-year-old boy, I have to run errands for my mom. One of the jobs is to peel the shipping labels on the packages before we take out the trash. I was being told that there were some important personal data, such as our name, cell phone number, and address in the shipping labels. If these personal data were on the wrong hands, it might cause a hazard when a disaster. But after I did my job, I still can't help but wonder, can we trust those Amazon, Taobao, Jingdong guys who keep our personal data? Although we are very cautious about the privacy of our personal data, China, with 67% of the customers, was the highest in the world when it came to customers' willingness to share more exchange for personalized services. According to a report from Accenture, we made such choice because we're in the time of big data. And it's a trend to choose sharing personal data with tech companies. Let me show you how big data works. First of all, to protect privacy, most of the tech companies will inform consumers of data collection with the ability to switch them off. When you press the register button on their websites, a long list of privacy policy will pop out and tell you how well they kept your personal data safe. You might never read it in detail, but it's a legal agreement to secure personal data. Because governments around the world are taking action to protect personal data, such as European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, US federal laws, and hundreds of pieces of legislation. All these efforts will lower potential risks for tech companies to misuse big data. Second, tech companies managing sorry. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. I can't take it. Okay. Let's get. Sorry, sir. Okay. Second, tech companies managing big data has developed into data science, and it brings many benefits we can't resist. Actually, our current online economy is built on it. We're connected through your computers, smartphones, wearable devices. Tech companies extract, analyze, visual, manage, and store big data, and put them into healthcare, banking, and e-commerce industries, which will greatly improve our life quality. Last but not least, in the time of emergency, tech companies can help government in public safety or public health. As the coronavirus spreads, Chinese mobile operators and tech companies are supporting and tracking the prevention of the coronavirus. According to Xinhua, the tech companies have given fully to play their advantages to provide the public with knowledge on the coronavirus. Through big data mining, staying at home, we witnessed to appreciate their hard work on fighting the coronavirus. Famous author Marine Annie Williamson once said, "Prepare for the new, expect for the new, embrace for the new. Otherwise, you will just repeat what's old." With the development of big data collection regulation, we make good use of big data and turn it into a game changer in the future. My dear friends, the time of big data has come. Are you ready to embrace the future? Thank you.
Okay, that was the last contestant. So all the contestants, they finished their job, and now we have to remove all the contestants and observers to the waiting room, and I have to check the point and ranking with the judges. So now I will remove you out.